one of those things that maybe Gino thought about. Like, I can't believe he was 10 years old when I first watched this dude. Now I get to play. I'm in the same division, and I get to play against him twice. Um, but as far as this game is concerned, look, Gino has got a lot to prove. He's got to prove that what happened this past Sunday wasn't a fluke, and this will be a good way to start by going up against the Patriots. If and I think this game, and I'm not gonna we're gonna make our picks later in the hour. I think this is gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a nail biter to the very end. But as for Mark Sanchez, maybe this is a blessing in
You
disguise.
know what?
Maybe this is just their way of saying we're parting ways with you.
Do you know what the record is for Brady against the Jets in the last 12 years?
I don't know.
He's 18-5
Well,
in the last 12 years.
18-5. I mean,
Yeah.
and the Jets defense is not all that good compared to years
Since he
past. So
debuted, since Brady debuted in 2001 when he replaced an injured Drew Bledsoe in the fourth quarter of the second game of the Jets in 2001, the Jets won that game 10-3. Since then, Brady is 18-5 as a starter against the Jets, including the postseason. He's won 3 Super Bowls, 2 regular MVPs. How about that? And facing the Jets, still a big thrill for him, he says.
well, for Tom Brady, he's entering tonight's game with a couple of missing pieces. Shane
You
Vereen,
think?
he's yeah. Shane Vereen, the only running back, shockingly, had 100 yards on Sunday. And this is what's weird about Shane Vereen's situation. When you normally put someone on the IR, that means he's done for the rest of the season. He's on the IR, but he's the kicker. He can come back come week 12. Uh, that's insane. And of course, Gronkowski's not playing. Danny Amendola,
Amendola's not
the guy
playing.
that's supposed to replace Wes Welker,
Yep.
he's not going to play neither. So all you have on the receiver depth chart is Julian Edelman, who's more of a slot receiver.
Well,
He's not
he's
a
gonna
number
be
one.
big. He's gonna be big tonight. You're gonna hear his name
Yeah,
a lot tonight.
yeah. So and he's a multi-dimensional player. Not only he can catch balls, but he can do well in the special teams. Return kicks and punt returns. So his night just got a lot more busier than usual. But I say it's going to be a nail biter. It's going to be close. Maybe the Jets will, you know, want to show that game against Tampa Bay was not a
It's a
fluke.
good thing I
But
don't get the NFL network in my studio.
I got the NFL Network on DirecTV, so yeah, I will be watching that tonight. So, um, in other New York related news, for one guy that's made his days as a New York player is over, another New Yorker, his career could very well be over. Mark Sanchez ain't the only one that's had bad injury news. Derek
Derek Jeter.
Jeter
Yep.
went to the DL for the third time. Yankees pretty much rule that his season has come to an end.
Yep.
Derek Jeter has just he's like 38, 39 years old right now. And
Says he wants to play.
Yankees
He says he wants to play like 2 more years, man.
yeah, and I believe he has an option after I think either after 2014.
That's crazy.
Um
What is he
I
nuts?
think and regardless of what you feel about the Yankees, you have to respect Derek Jeter, how he's handled himself, how he's conducted himself, and him being a 5-time champion. But we all know Father Time is undefeated. Don't matter how good you are, how great you are, the injuries he's had, like last season in the playoffs, he gets hurt. Then This is his third time on the DL. Usually Derek Jeter is far from being injury prone. He plays majority of the games every year. But since the postseason last year, dude, you barely see him on the field. You barely get to see him play. I think his time is up. Mariano Rivera is already playing in retirement. And remember, this dude got hurt because he was trying to catch a ball. Has nothing to do with pitching or whatsoever. He got hurt because he was catching ball during practice.
Practice.
We're talking about practice.
Practice. Who are you, Allen Iverson?
I guess you can say that,
Practice.
but Derek Jeter, as far as his future, look, the Yankees got a lot of decisions to make. Robinson Cano should be your number one option right now because he's gonna be a free agent after this season. And look, Derek Jeter, no hard feelings, but like Flavor Flav's clock, your time is up. You had a great career. It was great while it lasted. And look, just Mario, it would be great if you, Jeter, and Rivera retire at the same time. Go out. I understand players don't want to go out on injuries. They want to go out on their own terms. But maybe Father Time just saying, look, man, just shut it down.
You know, the Yankees are only one game back of the wild card?
Shockingly, given all that they've been through this season with the injuries.
The wild card's getting pretty. The American League East now is starting to heat up the wild card. You got Texas and Tampa Bay. And then the Yankees are one game behind that. Cleveland's at 1.5 back. Baltimore's 1.5 back. And Kansas City's 2. How about that? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams fighting for 2 spots.
The fact that Kansas City is in the hunt somehow is a miracle itself.
Yeah, it is. And they're only 2 games out, and I think there's still like 15 games left.
I mean, as for the Yankees, I think it's just a case of too little, too late. I just don't see the teams in front of them collapsing or anything. It's just
Kansas City's got 12 games left, and they're 2 games back.
I mean, anyone can name one single person on the Royals team? I know I can.
Oh, I can. I can because I used to live there, so yeah, I can.
But yeah, that's crazy considering, and not only that, the whole A-Rod situation, regardless if he's going to be playing at all come next season.
Can you imagine if they make that wild card game, and he's still, and he's on appeal, and he's playing, and he's actually playing really good right now.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. He's playing good, and he's under the radar. You know, the whole A-Rod talk has been died down since he appealed his suspension, and because that's the least of his worries. Yeah. All he can do is just go out there and play.
Right. And the Yankees are playing Baltimore. They're on a rain delay. San Diego's over in Philadelphia. They're on a rain delay. You got Cleveland and the White Sox playing tonight. Milwaukee and St. Louis playing. St. Louis is still leading that division there, the National League Central, by 1 over Pittsburgh and 2 over Cincinnati, I believe it is, or 3 over Cincinnati. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati right now hold the wild card spots, okay? And Washington is 5.5 out. So it's pretty much Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are going to win the wild card team and be the wild card teams and play in a 1-game series to see who goes to make the playoff.
I guess this is people's favorite part of the season.
Nice shot.
The wild cards and the last month is, to me, it's probably my favorite time of the baseball season.
And
because
you know what I'm watching right now?
What you watching?
The Pittsburgh Pirates playing the Chicago Cubbies. Come on, Cubbies.
But Pittsburgh, I mean, they get the winning season first time in 2 decades.
How about that? Huh? Is that
I
crazy?
mean, Andrew McCutcheon, who knows if he's going to be an MVP candidate or not, but he should be in the discussion. He's played pretty well. Cincinnati, I'm surprised they ain't the playoff pitcher, let alone, Joey Votto, our best player of that team, been struggling, since the All-Star break. That's it's good to see Brendan Phillips stepping up when Votto hasn't. But I like this time of year. The playoff pitcher still look a bit blurry right now, but within the next couple of weeks, we know for sure
Well, the
who's
Pirates
in
have.
and who's out.
It looks like there's 12 or 13 games left for everybody because the Pirates have 12
Yeah.
as well. So, and they got the Cubbies this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I believe it's a 4-game stretch. And the Cubbies just took 2 or 3 from St. Louis. So what the hell's going on here? I mean, from Cincinnati. I'm sorry, from Cincinnati. I need freaking Cincinnati and St. Louis to play really well, and I need Pittsburgh to play like crap. Pittsburgh is on a 3-game winning streak. I need that to stop.
Look, they're gonna at least be in the playoff picture. You just don't want them to go to.
Well, not if they lose 10 games in a row, and Washington wins a couple of games. Washington can knock them out, and it could be Cincinnati and Washington. That would be nice, but I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like I said on Tuesday's show, as far as Washington, they just dug themselves too deep in a hole. All this talk about Strasburg, with last season. I think what happened last season has affected him. He just hasn't been playing well. Harper, I mean, quietly, I guess he's doing okay, but the Nationals hasn't been able to get anything going.
Nothing going. Absolutely nothing to going.
And that's why they find themselves pretty much. You might as well, because they might as well be. They on the bubble as far as I'm concerned. If we're going to use college basketball terms, they are on the bubble. They have to hope that Cincinnati and St. Louis collapse. But these are two well-rounded teams that I just don't see any of them. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis. I don't see neither of those teams collapsing. They're gonna make all three of them. And Washington's gonna be on the outside looking in.
I'd like to see Kansas City sneak in there and get into the wild card.
Yeah,
I really would. Do you know that they're the hottest team in the last 10 games? They're the hottest team in the American League. They're 7-3.
I mean,
they're making their push, man.
Albert Pujols is like, damn, maybe I should have stayed in St. Louis. I mean, you got Carlos Beltran. I mean, he's no Albert Pujols, but he's a pretty good player. He's definitely shown that he can carry the load. St. Louis has shown that they find other pieces and they play good baseball.
Well, they're off today, and they're off today, and they're only up by a game. So if Pittsburgh wins, they're only up by a half a game. So I'm hoping Pittsburgh loses. They got to get moving, these guys. St. Louis, if they want to make it, they better play, win 3, 4, 5 in a row here. You got 12 games left. You win your first 3, maybe you lose 2, and then you go out into the wild card game on a winning streak. That has to happen. That has to happen. For Pittsburgh, I want them to go in the wild card on a losing streak.
Absolutely, man. And getting back to football real quick. Back to Seattle and San Francisco. And I'm not sure if you read this info or not, but during the filming of the Madden NFL 25 commercial, which was shot with Russell Wilson and Colin Kaepernick, there was behind-the-scenes footage of them knowing that this game is coming up. Now, may I remind you, this was filmed like before the regular season even started. They were just talking, and they came up with some friendly bet. And whoever teams loses, the starting quarterback had to cut shaped eyebrows.
Nice.
That was the